Today we're looking at the brightest star in the Galaxy S constellation. This is the Samsung Epic 4G for Sprint, and it brings some pretty impressive features to the table that the other Galaxy S phones don't. The Samsung Epic 4G has a 1 GHz Hummingbird processor with 512 megabytes of RAM, and right off the bat, just looking at it, you'll notice it's a little different from the Vibrant or the Captivate or the Fascinate, and that's because it has a full slide-out QWERTY keyboard, which we really liked. It was very quick, offered plenty of real estate for bigger fingers, and was equal to, or if not better than, the virtual keyboard on the phone itself. In addition to the 3.5mm audio jack, micro USB port, power lock switch, and volume rocker, you'll also notice a dedicated camera shutter button, and the Epic 4G has a built-in LED flash and video light, just like the Samsung Fascinate from Verizon. We also get a front-facing VGA camera, which is a feature that none of the other Captivate models offer. And to top it all off, the Samsung Epic 4G is, well, 4G. So if you live in an area that supports 4G, this phone is going to be very fast. Now the big question is, what's the main difference between the Samsung Epic 4G and the Evo 4G? Well, the Evo 4G has a larger 4.3-inch screen, but the Samsung Epic 4G's screen is a 4-inch AMOLED screen, which is one of the best on the market. The Epic 4G's Hummingbird processor is also just a little faster than the Evo 4G's Snapdragon processor, and this phone has the full slide-out QWERTY keyboard. The Evo 4G has a better front-facing camera at 1.3 megapixels, and it also has an HDMI terminal. The Samsung Epic 4G steering wheel is Android 2.1 on top of TouchWiz 3.0, and it's one of the best browsing and navigation interfaces in the cell phone world, but it's not Android 2.2, which is what we had a chance to get acclimatized to with the Motorola Droid 2. So we weren't treated to that faster Android 2.2 experience, and we missed out on viewing Flash content in web pages. But for the most part, the Samsung Epic 4G's Android 2.1 did the job. We got 7 different home screens, the same ability to tap on an icon and move it around the screen. The Epic 4G also offers Buddies Now, which basically consolidates all of your favorite Facebook and Twitter, MySpace, etc. social networking contacts into one little Rolodex of favorites, so you don't have to wade through all of that crap that you don't want to wade through. There's also feeds and updates, and what Sprint phone wouldn't be a Sprint phone without Sprint Football, Sprint Hotspots, Sprint Navigation, Sprint TV, and the Sprint Zone. But this has Android Market, which has over 70,000 applications and counting, and it's going to have Media Hub for downloading multimedia content. One thing we liked about this interface is the fact that we could swipe right to call a contact or swipe left to text message them. And you'll find that there are a lot of little corner-cutting shortcuts on this phone that will enable you to do things faster than on a typical smartphone. Voice quality was on par with the Samsung Captivate and Samsung Vibrant, and we tested those phones against the iPhone 4, and they were about the same. So very good sound quality, very good noise canceling capability, and minimal to no static on these phones. And we also get Sprint's EVDO 3G network, which is very fast, and if you're in a 4G area, you get 4G, which is pretty much as fast as you can get. Let's pop off the back of the phone here, because we're going to talk about battery life. But first, let's take a look at the micro SD card slot here that gives you up to 32 gigabytes of space. With an Android 2.2 upgrade, you'll be able to store your applications onto this micro SD card. The battery life of this phone was mediocre. The Motorola Droid 2 outlasted this phone by double. When we left them both overnight after a day's worth of usage, the Droid 2 had just over half battery left, and this thing was about cashed in. The Epic 4G's camera interface is one of the best in the business. It offers a lot of filters, scene modes, image adjustments, but the image quality was not as good as the iPhone 4's, which the iPhone 4 gave the best digital imaging performance so far this year. It's a good second place though, and it ranks up with the Captivate and the Vibrant. Images are great in bright light and macro. In low light they're a little noisy, and the good thing is we get a flash, but this flash tends to blow out subjects pretty easily if you take up close pictures. Video quality was on par with the Captivate and the Vibrant. Still not as good as the iPhone 4. It records at a strange frame rate, so sometimes motion is jerky, and white balance tends to jump around a little bit. So for the most part, video quality is another good second to the iPhone 4. It's 720p. It's about as good as you can get resolution-wise in the cell phone world. So now the big question is, should you get the Evo 4G or the Epic 4G if you're a Sprint user? If you want a phone that covers a lot more ground, and if you want a slide-out QWERTY keyboard, then the Epic 4G is your phone. But if you want a big multimedia powerhouse, larger screen, HDMI connection, and better front-facing camera for video chat, then the Evo 4G is your phone. So we recommend going and checking both phones out because they have equal pros and cons. If you're not a Sprint user and you're kind of a free agent, we recommend checking out the Motorola Droid 2, as well as the Droid Incredible and the rest of the Droid family. But the Droid 2 and Droid Incredible are lined up pretty evenly with this phone. But all in all, if you're looking for a Galaxy S phone, this is about as good as you can get in that star constellation. Until next time, I'm Mike Perlman.